Let's take a moment and talk about how to handle resident complaints. Listen, the resident is always right, except when they're not, which is most of the time. But unfortunately for us as property managers and leasing agents, it really doesn't matter if the resident is right or they're wrong. It doesn't matter who's right or who's wrong, because they can burn us online with those property reviews. Those horrible negative reviews that oftentimes are the furthest thing from the truth. Comment below if you've been a victim of negative property reviews. I want to hear from you. But let's talk about how to handle these resident complaints. My name is Matt Easton. I'm the founder of Leasing University, the #1 sales training in the world for people just like you. Why should you care about Leasing University? Folks that go through our online training lease 7 times more apartments. I'm going to say that again. They lease 7 times more apartments. It's very simple training. You can do it online. You can earn your certified leasing consultant credential in just a few short weeks. For sure, you can have your credential within 30 days. It's very simple online training. Check it out over at leasinguniversity.com. But let's take a second, and I'm going to give you some great tips, some skills. I'm going to give you a system that I go by for handling resident complaints. All right, so when it comes to resident complaints, I want you to think about these 9 steps. Here's what I like about these 9 steps. They're going to save you time. In most cases, say 90+% of the time, this is going to end in a positive outcome with the resident, no matter how aggravated or agitated they are. And in many cases, you're going to be able to spin this around into a positive, into at minimum a lease renewal, and hopefully a lease renewal and a positive online review. So I want you to take some notes here. I've written down my 9 steps. I'm going to share them with you right now. All right, step number 1 when it comes to handling resident complaints. I want you to agree with them. Never, ever argue with them. And we teach this at leasinguniversity.com. Listen, you can both be in agreement with somebody without admitting that you're wrong. What? Seriously? Yes, seriously. Even if the resident is being totally out of line, you can still maintain a state of agreement without admitting any fault on your end. All you have to say is, I hear you, or I understand, or I've got it. But you want to agree with them. You never ever want to start an argument with them. No, that didn't happen. That's not the case. That's not the policy. I hear you. I understand. The first thing out of your mouth needs to be a state of agreement. You're going to find this is going to make your life a lot easier, and it's really going to calm down those aggravated residents. All right, next, I want you to listen all the way. And this one is so tough for us. I'm guilty of this a lot. We're all guilty of this. We've got to make an effort to do this. We need to listen all the way. Use your listening skills that we've taught you at Leasing University. Make sure you've given them an opportunity to say everything. If you let a prospect get 80 or 90% of the way out of unloading or unpacking everything they're fired up about, but you miss that last 10 or 20%, you're going to notice that they're still aggravated and that they're still agitated and that they're still, being aggressive with you. You have to be calm. Tell me more about that. And you have to listen all the way. Hey, I want to make sure, is that everything? Did we cover everything? Make sure that you're listening all the way with them. Here's a technique for my legion of leasers that you're going to love. I want you to use your sword and shield. If you are in person with them, make sure that you're taking notes. Patty, remind me again of what your unit is. It's 302. 302. Got it. And talk to me again about what's going on. Help me understand. Patty, I want to help you. The sink is still dripping. You never fixed it. Sink. Got it. Oh, I hate it when that happens, Patty. Remind me again, is it the kitchen sink or is it the bathroom sink or both? Well, it's the kitchen sink. Kitchen. And how long has it been dripping, Patty? Well, it's been, 12 minutes, but I'm upset. 12 minutes. Got it, Patty. You want to make sure that you're using your sword and shield. Now, if they're there in the leasing and office in front of you, do this in front of them. If you're working in maintenance, you've learned this in our maintenance training. By using your sword, which is your pen, I prefer a Sharpie because they can see what you're writing down, and your shield, your prospect will only tell you what they're aggravated about 1, maybe 2 times tops. If you're just listening to them, right, and you have nothing in your hands, you're going to find that they keep yelling at you about the same thing over and over and over again. Now, if you're over the phone with somebody, all you have to say is, and please don't do this on the keyboard, that noise is terrible. All you have to say is, Patty, I've got it. Hey, I want to take some notes. Give me 1 second. Let me grab my pen and piece of paper, and then repeat back. Another thing I love about Sharpies, they can literally hear you over the phone when you're writing with the Sharpie. There is something that is so special about you taking notes with that person in front of them that calms them down. Trust me on this. Comment below when you feel the magic, when you try this, when you feel the magic. All right, so use your sword and shield to write notes down in front of them. I want you to confirm, hey Patty, I've got it. It's unit, see how easy it is now that I did my sword and shield? We've got unit 302. It's that sink, that pesky sink in the kitchen. It's been dripping for 12 minutes. Is that everything? Did I miss anything? Is that everything? Did I miss anything? Now they're starting to get really calm and really positive with you. You've got to confirm, all right? I need you to be an ambassador of your management company. Regionals, AVPs, CEOs, presidents, if you're watching this video, comment below how this is the type of behavior that you want to promote your people. They're hearing it from me. I want them to hear it from you as well. If you want your career to go places, if you want to get promoted, I want you to be an ambassador. We talk about this all the time at Leasing University. It is so simple to be an ambassador. Tell that resident, listen, I'm going to personally handle this. I'm going to take care of this. I'm going to work with Jason and our maintenance team. I'm going to make sure that Jason is honest. By the way, Jason is fabulous. I am going to personally talk to Jason about this right now. Get in the habit of being an ambassador. Get in the habit of not passing the buck and taking personal responsibility and letting them know, hey, you've reached out to the right person. I'm going to make sure that we get this handled. I can't tell you how many times I see people in management companies say, well, that's not my job, that's maintenance, you got to talk to them. Well, that's not my job, that's leasing, you've got to talk to them. Oh, accounting, you got to talk to them. Hey, you talk to the right person. I'm going to handle this. I'm going to go walk to the accounting department right now. You want to get promoted? Start acting like that. Which brings me to number 6. Very similar. Please don't blame others and don't pass the buck. Don't blame another resident. Don't blame your third-party landscaping company. Don't blame the plumber. Don't blame PPG or Sherwin-Williams for putting the wrong paint in there. Whatever it is, wherever you think the blame is, just accept responsibility and handle the situation. Blaming people, whether it's other people on your staff, whether it's outside vendors or other residents, is not going to do you any good, okay? Just take responsibility for the situation. Number 7, and so important, and a lot of you don't do this, I want you to make a follow-up call to make sure that the situation is resolved. You can even let them know when you're working with them, Patty, got it, 302 sync. I'm going to call you at 2:30 on Thursday to make sure that we've resolved this. Does that work all right with you? Let them know you're going to call and make that follow-up call. Can you see how now we're turning that pesky drip into a lease renewal, into a positive review, into a promotion for you because you've handled this so gracefully? Number 8, get a positive review if you can. Hey, Patty, I'm so glad that everything is fixed. I'm so glad you're feeling good. You are so important to me. I would love it if you'd leave a review and just write 1 or 2 sentences about how we handled this situation for you. When you ask that way, you are going to find that about what we have found is about 40% plus of those residents, even those ones that were the most angry, when you've handled it this way and you ask them for a review that way, hey, listen, would you mind leaving a review on Google? Would you mind leaving a review on Yelp? Just 1 or 2 sentences talking about how we handled the situation for you. They will say yes, they will agree. All right, number 9 and last, I want you to take a second and I want you to debrief with yourself. I want you to write down, what have I learned? And what can I do to prevent this situation from happening again? And when you bring this up in your team meetings, like the meetings that we teach you to do at Leasing University, when you bring this up in your meetings, talk to the team about potentially some changes that need to be made. You can always get better at handling these situations. And if you can master resident complaints, you are well on your way to being the next CEO of the company, because guess what the CEO has to do with about 90% of their time? Manage complaints just like this. Complaints from residents, complaints from investors, complaints from people just like you, unfortunately, team members. The better that you can handle these situations gracefully, positively, and in a constructive way that gets results quickly, the faster your career is going to go through the roof. I hope this helps. I hope you'll check out Leasing University. I would love to see you get certified over at leasinguniversity.com. And until the next video, I want you to be great and I want you to get those leases. I'll see you soon. "500 of the top property management companies work with Leasing University. We conduct 100 live apartment leasing training events per year. We help our clients sign over 100,000 additional leases per year, adding $2 billion to their revenue. Leasing consultants that have access to Leasing University lease 7 times more apartments than the rest of the industry. Leasing University is new. Leasing University is game-changing, and Leasing University will get you 7 times more leases. Listen, the apartment industry has changed. The way people rent apartments today is totally different than it was yesterday. Today's renter has more access to information, and they've got more choices in apartments than they've ever had before. If you're struggling to get leases, it's most likely not your location, it's not your amenities, and it's not your price. It's your sales training. If you've been made to sit through a boring class or unrealistic online training, and you're not getting the skills that you need to work with renters, to help you handle their objections, and to make sure you close the lease and rent the apartment, well, that ends today with Leasing University. Our simple, fun, and exciting step-by-step online training and live events will give you the skills and confidence that you need to lease 7 times more apartments. Earn your certified leasing consultant credential in less than 30 days with Leasing University. Simply click on the link to get started and head over to leasinguniversity.com now to start your training.